Now, a senior Daily Mail journalist has told this programme that the paper's article about Ed Miliband's father was wrongly labelled and that it should have been made clearer that it was a comment piece. The concession by the Mail City editor Alex Brummer is the first time anyone from the paper has admitted to any problem over the article. The Labour Party says it shows that the Mail's strategy is unravelling piece by piece. But the Mail tonight insisted its position was unchanged. Here's our chief correspondent, Alex Thompson.
Comings and goings today at the London home of Daily Mail editor Paul Dacre, but no sign of the man himself. He's now effectively been on the run from the media for almost a week. Now and then, from Northcliffe House, Daily Mail HQ, senior journalists are put up to defend the paper, which continues to refuse to do the one thing Ed Miliband really wants. Say sorry for this article 7 days ago, saying Ed Miliband's father hated Britain. Editor Paul Dacre's adamant there's nothing wrong, no need to say sorry. But tonight, the first sign of that strategy unravelling. Mail City editor Alex Brummer admitting for the first time the way the article was set up was perhaps wrong and misleading.
I don't think that was a deliberate thing. I think it just had the wrong label on it. Sometimes articles which are comments should be labelled and made clear that they're comment. So perhaps it should have said comment on it to make it absolutely clear it was comment instead of a special report. But I think people understood that it wasn't just reporting, there was an element of commentary to it. Just maybe the labelling wasn't quite as what it should have been.
Just over an hour ago, a Labour spokesman sent me the following response to that.
6 days on from their original article, the Daily Mail's defence is crumbling. For the first time, they have been forced to admit significant problems in the way they dealt with the article, The Man Who Hated Britain. They should now finally have the good grace and decency to acknowledge their grotesque error of judgment and apologise.
Some may well question whether we want political parties demanding newspapers examine their practices just because their boss is upset. But it's not going away. Labour claim on the one hand they want to talk policy, but then they talk Daily Mail and the story has another lease of life.
I spoke out as a son because the Daily Mail said that my father hated Britain. My father loved Britain. He served in the Royal Navy. He served our country. And I thought that was the wrong thing for them to say about him, and I defended him. But this isn't an issue of regulation. It's about right and wrong.
Miliband and his team are angry. They wanted the man who owns the Mail to apologise when he wrote to Ed Miliband yesterday, but Lord Rothermere didn't do that. And he didn't agree to an ethical investigation of his papers either. Half an hour ago, the Daily Mail contacted us again and said their position has not changed on this issue. The Daily Mail believes that the Labour Party is spinning this for all it's worth, and its proprietor and its editor are unwilling to give any ground, still less apologise. But given today's developments, after a week of this now, it does appear that the paper's position is slightly less adamant tonight than it's been.